Hello, my name is DJ Ninja, and welcome back to week 2 of the Lads Draft Review. This week I went up against Maggie, and I will say, for the preface, it was a quite tough battle. So let's start with Maggie's team. As usual, we'll start with a breakdown of the opponent, and we'll compare to my team, and then into team review for what I built, and then into what the VOD itself. So let's look over Maggie's team. Maggie's team is far faster than our opponent last week, with multiple Pokemon being above 100, as well as multiple Tailwind users, Rapid Spin, and other forms of increasing speeds. There's also Trick Room for BHM and Camerupt. In a way, this makes this team very aggressive and very hard for me to deal with the main threat being the Ganondorf. Maggie's team sort of is built around a core of a Steel Fairy Dragon core with Naganadel, Cobalion, and Diancie. Additionally, with Altaria being able to summon for that second Dragon type. I think this is a pretty solid core, but it definitely does have some weaknesses. As far as hazards go, Maggie's team has a large variety, as well as good removal options, as well as good recovery, and overall, I think actually a pretty hard team to deal with. The biggest weaknesses that the team has are major weaknesses to both ice and ground. At least, well, more ground on its core Pokemon. And so, let's break down the team that I built. So for starter, we have our normal core of Torkoal, Wake, Tusk, and Venusaur. For this week, I have brought my utility, both Rocks and Rapid Spin, on Torkoal only to free up Tusk for set later. Wake has brought a specially offensive set, but this time instead of a choice item, we're going for X-Loop Belt. With Dragon Pulse, Hydro Stream, and Flamethrower, we hit the core of Diancie, Naganadel, and Cobalion for super effective on each one of these moves, and this is a Oko for each of them in Sun. X-Loop Belt allows for me to not be restricted by choice items, not to switch out, and the flip turn also gives me that pivot potential. For Melvin, we've brought a different set this week, where we brought a Choice Scarf set. I think that whole core, as I said, is weak to ground, and there's massive ice weakness on the team. So I think Earthquake, Ice Spinner are really good moves to have. Close combat rounds us out with another stab option for mons like, actually, not Walrein anymore. There was Walrein when I built the team, but Walrein got replaced with Great Tusk. But for Shiftry and Obstagoon, and then Knockoff provides valuable utility. For Weedfrog, I brought a different set this week. We've actually got Terra Steel with Chlorophyll leftovers again. Terra Steel looked really good defensively. The team had completely walls Naganadel. I brought Sleep Powder for fast sunny sleep powders, and as I said earlier, growth is always nice to have. And then Earth Power is a strong option into her ground weak Pokemon, and then Sludge Bomb for stab. Making its debut is Magneton this week. As I said, ground is very strong with our team, and Terra Ground Magneton with Terra Blast really good, specifically with Magnet Pull, so it completely locked down Cobalion due to both Magnet Pull and the Terra Ground, so it couldn't Volt Switch out either. Volt Switch as well for Pivot, and then Flash Cannon Thunderbolt for utility. Lastly, 21 times rounds us out as the last Pokemon, returning this week again with a set of Prankster, Yawn, and Taunt, along with Fake Out and Knockoff. Overall, very happy with how the team looks. So let's get into the battle. And here we have the teams. So Maggie ended up bringing her Altaria, Shiftry, Naganadel, Golisopod, Obstagoon, and Brambleghast. I was very shocked to see no Diancie and Cobalion, which meant that Magneton's ability is not exactly the strongest. Or actually, it's not useful at all. I would much rather have Analytic here, in this case, knowing the Pokemon that she brought. But it's fine. It'll still be able to do good work. Also, just looking at that team, I see that... I guess I can show it here now. I see that the main Terra types are... We have Terra Grass on Shiftry, and then Terra Ghost on Obstagoon for her Terra Captains, which is interesting. So that's how I go for basically. I start Liepard, and Maggie starts Altaria. This is easy for me. I'm going to go Fake Out. Might as well first turn. And she sets an Obstagoon. Obstagoon gets a Flame Orb burst. I can't do anything. I drop out. And then she goes for knockoff, which is really rough. I lose my Heat Rock right away, and that is tough. So she goes for a parting shot right away, which is... And the outcome is Altaria. Now I learned Altaria is Cloud9. And this... Well, actually, I learned it at turn 1, at the very start of the battle, but I didn't notice it. This Cloud9 really fucks my team. Because Cloud9 doesn't remove the sun, it just pauses it. So while Altaria is out, I have no weather. Really hard for my sun team to deal with. I'm going to figure out a way how. But as Altaria comes out, I get the Stealth Rocks, which is fun. I switch back into Liepard because I know I can't get anything. And I see this is Dragon Dance, very dangerous. So I go for the Fake Out because I might as well. I get the Flinch, and I go for the Yawn. I know that if this thing starts set up, I'm going to be in trouble. Altaria goes for the Brave Bird, and yeah, that fucking hurts. As out it goes. And in hindsight, I probably could have stayed in. Looking now, I probably could have stayed in. I probably going for knockoff because there's no way I think Altaria stays in. I know it's not a natural cure, so it can't really sleep and then go out and be restored. In hindsight, I should have just gone for a knockoff there. But I swap out. I know if it goes for another Brave Bird, and it will outspeed most likely. I know if it goes for Brave Bird, there's zero way Magneton with Eviolite doesn't live. But nope, out comes Bramble Gas, which spins away my rocks. Not a big issue. I Volt Switch out, and in comes Wake. Pretty easy. I got the speed boost for Photosynthesis. I outspeed, even with it being +1, and down it goes to a Flamethrower. Sun stops as out comes Gliscopod. I know this thing has first impression, and that fucking hurts. Magneton can take it just fine with its bulk. But I can't really keep it in. Well, actually I do. Never mind. What am I saying? I go for the Thunderbolt because I know it's going to be decent damage on whatever's going to come in. Out comes Shiftry. Magneton takes a Fake Out. Which we then lose our Eviolite, and that sucks. As I Volt Switch us out. And in comes Torkoal. We get our Sun back up, which is going to be only 5 turns now, and that absolutely does hurt us. As out comes Altaria. And I went for an Overheat here. I think my impression was I could Overheat Shiftry, get it out of the way. This thing it starts to set up again, and that's really, really scary looking. So I go into Liepard as he gets a second one up. And in this case, nothing will outspeed this on my team if it is max speed. So I just go for a Fake Out, then Yawn. I sacrifice our boy, Liepard, in order to get out. And out comes Melvin. I know Melvin could reasonably take that, and I just go for Ice Spinner. I guess this is where I learned Altaria had a Yachi Berry, which doesn't really help it at this health. So Altaria goes down. I'm in a good position here, 5-4. They have no Cloud9 now, so if Torkoal comes back out, I get the Sun up for sure. And out comes Obstagoon. I go for the Sun, and I did not expect that to do that much damage. I believe this is max defense Torkoal. Yes, it was, and that did a lot. So I'm like, okay, we need Torkoal alive for Sun and later, and so Obstagoon gets the kill. Okay, no big deal. Wake will outspeed, and anything that Wake does should kill this, except it goes for Obstruct, which is actually a pain, because we are on such limited Sun turns, we lose one there for virtually nothing. As out comes Gliscopod, we hit we get that emergency exit proc right away, so it kind of it comes in and leaves right away. As out comes Naganadel, and at this point, I'm thinking, there's no way this will come out unless it is Scarf, and I'm thinking to myself, if it is Scarf, something dies, and frankly, I don't know what it is. Really, realistically though, if it's Scarf, I have nothing to deal with this. Just the health of my Pokemon, nothing will probably tank stab moves from it, and it is, which I know now because it wouldn't have outsped otherwise. It gets a kill with Draco, not good, but it gives me a chance to get up Sun for free, as I let Torkoal die for a free switch, as out comes in Venusaur. Weed Frog is in a really good position here. It gets a free Growth off for sure because there's nothing that it can do. And yeah. with that health, I just go for Terra Steel, so I resist for suppression. It still does so much with Life Orb. And I see dies to Life Orb recoil, so I don't get Sludge Wolf. I should have just gone for another growth, maybe. Shiver comes out, goes for a Fake Off, and that's really, really annoying. And then out comes Obstagoon, which just dies to Sludge Bomb right away. As back in comes Shiftry, and I'm shitting myself right now, because, like, if Naganadel has a Fire-type move, I probably lose. Shifter goes for Fake Out, that's really annoying. Does a lot of my damage. Does a lot of damage to me. And then Shiftry explodes! I was not expecting this, I will say. I was, like, genuinely confused when I saw Shiftry explode and die. Mainly because I didn't know Shiftry got Explosion. Or forgot it did. Because I know C-Dot gets it, but I forgot that, oh yeah, Shiftry would also get it then. I was not prepped for that as well. I was like, oh crap, if Shiftry has Heat Wave, in and out. Probably outspeeds me because I know I'm modest, not timid. That could be an issue. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I probably lose now. Nagandel's going to outspeed everything on my team for sure. And if it has Flamethrower, it probably gets to kill on Melvin. Because I'm not vested. And yeah, it's got Heat Wave. So in hindsight, bulky Melvin might have been the play. I could do the calc. I should probably have checked the calc, but yeah, no. At this point, it came down to... And it was Heat Wave as well instead of Flamethrower. If it was Flamethrower, I for sure lost. It would have come down to accuracy rolls at that point. But really well played by Maggie. She kept her carry mon away. Unfortunately, I did lose, but I'm not mad. It was a really good battle, really intense. And I'm really proud of what this team did. I think everyone pulled their weight. Everyone had viable utility in the battle. But no, I thought it was overall a good battle. Anyways, next week, I'll be back next week after my match with Lynn. Okay, bye.